Okay, everyone, this is just a very quick, brief video to help you troubleshoot some potential issues when it comes to assessment design and also uploading your assessment if it is a video, such as assessment 2, in terms of Blackboard, because there are some limitations that you need to be aware of. So basically what I want you to do is make sure that you're going into the right area for assessment. So we're talking about professional internships here, and in particular assessment 2, which is your video presentation. You've got the due date here, you can see how much it's worth. You also will notice that you have your unit learning outcomes. So what is it that we're trying to measure by allowing you to complete the video? The format that it's to be presented in, which is a 1-minute video that demonstrates your employability skills that you have begun to either fine-tune, explore further upon, or improve upon during your internship experience. So you have a bit of broad area to be creative there. You've also got rubric instructions, which are just detailed here, but you actually need to enter the assessment area to fully realize the rubric. You've also got some resources, so I really recommend that prior to you even creating your video and getting started, have a look at the templates, and please be mindful that these are templates only. We're not saying you have to use them. We're not expecting you to submit them as part of your assessment. These are templates and resources to help you develop your ideas when it comes to your presentation. Every student's different and they learn in a different way and a different level and at different speed. So really we've just picked these particular templates hoping that we might be able to cover a vast area of different disciplines when it comes to presentation making. So first template is a script writing template. It's a PowerPoint. It has a template where you can add information and it can take you step by step to think about, well, what is it that you'll be creating and what is it that you'll be saying and what you'll be highlighting and presenting. And then we have another resource here that tells you a different ways of how to create a great video about yourself and what are those key elements that you'll need. Also, don't forget that the Blackboard unit site itself has phase B, checking in, which is really designed to help you complete assessment 2 in terms of your presentation. So how to access that is that you come up here, you have your unit content area and you have phase B, checking in. So when you're ready to do assessment 2, you should be at this particular phase of the unit of study. And what you can do is take your time. It's very much self-directed. We expect students to really manage their own time in terms of the learning to help them prepare for presentation, but it also is aligned to your internship experience as well. So there's heaps of information here that you can take your time going through. There's videos, there's text-based resources, and lots of other interesting readings that you can look at. And this will definitely prepare you for doing assessment 2 and doing assessment 2 really well. So the research is really clear that those students who prepare, take the time to look at all the different resources, actively engaged in the Blackboard unit site, tend to do really well when it comes to their assessments because they're preparing themselves for developing such an artifact. Okay, so we'll just go back to assessments and begin where I left off. So I was around here and just taking you through phase B. Then you also have your declaration, which we expect every student to read. Because it's an online submission, you just need to read that. There's nothing else you need to do. And here's just some notes. Look, Blackboard is difficult when it comes to video presentation, but we don't want to stop students making such great artifacts with their learning. The research is really clear in this area that when we allow students to be creative, we allow them to choose a platform that they want to use in terms of technology, it's much more engaging, it's much more fun, and you get a lot out of it, and it's something you could use for your future career pathway. So we don't want to just stop you from doing that just because the Blackboard unit tool doesn't allow you to submit directly in terms of MP4 files. So what I'm going to do now is quickly show you what I would highly recommend for you in order to submit effectively and successfully in the Blackboard unit site for this assessment is to use an open source software such as YouTube. And I can actually just show you my own YouTube account. You can easily sign up, doesn't cost anything. You can have security settings where you are completely private and you're not necessarily showing that to a wider audience. or you can obviously set your settings so that a wider audience can view that. So it's really great. You have ownership over that. Also, YouTube have an editing process, and I have a video on that in video making resources in the Blackboard unit site that you can take your time at a later date to go through and have a look. So basically, this is how I create a lot of the resources that I build for the Blackboard unit site for you. As you can see, I have other explanation videos telling you how to submit or look at a rubric for other units of study as well. So once you've created your video and you upload it to your account, it doesn't have to be YouTube, it can be via Google Docs, it can be whatever open source platform you decide. Dropbox is another platform you can use. Once you decide that your video is there, it's really important that you get the URL link, so you know. Okay, so I'll just try and find that. So for example, ignore that little bit of hiccup there, but basically here is my video, and this is where I can share, and then I can find my URL link. This is the URL link that the academic supervisor is going to need to locate when they're having a look at your assessment in the rubrics area for assessment 2. They need to be able to locate that. So what I've done in a previous version is that I have created a Word document. I've put in my URL link here, and I'm going to pretend this is my assessment 2 and I'm a student, and I'm going to submit. So once I've done all that, I've created my video and I've got my URL link, and now I want to submit. I come back to assessments, I find the assessment where I want to submit my video, which is here. I do a click here, and really this is just a mirror version of the previous page, showing you again the detail that you need to be looking at and aware of. And then when I'm ready to submit, all I do is click here. I click here, and this is a really important page because this is where you will submit your Word document with URL link to your video. You've got the due date of your assessment always here, and you also have the rubric here. So you can view the rubric before you submit, and even you can do this weeks before you're ready to submit. Just do exact same process, click on those links that I showed you and come here. You can view the rubric, you can have a look at it, you can scroll down, you can either go in the grid view or the list view. Nothing's going to happen. You're not going to accidentally submit anything. It's impossible. But this is a great way of actually online looking at what is expected from you as a student in terms of how you will be graded for assessment 2. So you can take your time and go through each criteria, making sure, okay, before I even start making my video, I'm going to see, oh, all right, I need to do this. My presentation needs to have a comprehensive introduction and conclusion. All right, I'm going to think about that. I'm going to use a template, script writing template, and I'm going to think about, well, what is my introduction and what is my conclusion? I'm going to think about what is my argument, what am I trying to present, what am I trying to prove, and so forth and onwards. Okay, so I'll leave that with you because that's something you really need to do yourself and make sure you are creating an artifact in this case a video that's going to definitely measure what it is that you're learning so that we can grade you on that in terms of that rubric. Okay, so say you've done all that and you're pretty happy and you've made your assessment, you've made your presentation, yeah, and all the security settings are clear so that the academic supervisor will be able to view your presentation on YouTube, and you're ready to submit. You just scroll down here and you go, all right, browse computer, and then what you need to do is find that document that you have created, which is assessment 2 video, for example for me, and it had the URL link to the YouTube video in there, and you open that and then you submit. Right, and that's all you need to do. Thank you.